Good morning. I thought this morning I'd bring you along on my sometimes a morning routine. I am going to be making Morning Glory Muffins, and the recipe I'll share below is by Ina Gardner. And it's just one I found on the internet. This is my first time trying it. So I've already started. The first thing I had to do was to grate 2 cups of carrots, which I'm almost finished, but I forgot to get down a mixing bowl. Okay, got to get that down. So I need to grate a little bit more carrots, and it specified use a box grater. So I'm going to grate a little bit more carrots. Let's see here. Can you see that? So I'm grating some carrots. Hold on, let me see if I can aim that down a little bit. There you go. So I don't have a whole lot more of these to grate. Just that one and this little one here. Because I needed 2 cups of grated carrots. Okay, so that's my 2 cups of carrots I've grated. The next thing I need to grate is 1 apple. So I'm going to grate that. It's specified to leave the peel on, but I am going to remove the seeds. So moving the seeds from those. And these shouldn't take more than a minute to grate. And the other ingredients I'm going to be using is flour, vanilla, cinnamon, pineapples, pecans, a little bit of orange zest. I wish the carrots was as easy to grate as this apple. But this is really good. And this recipe makes 12 muffins. I'm going to make 18 because I'm going to make some mini muffins. Peel this, cut this last little bit of apple up. Yeah, I'm going to make 12 mini muffins and 6 regular full-size muffins. It's a juicy apple. But I used to love to get these. And a lot of times I couldn't find them, so I started making my own. And I hadn't made them in a while. I hadn't been doing a whole bunch of cooking. That's one thing I had said it was on my list of goals for 2023 was to get back into cooking more. Oops. So I'm just grating this apple. Okay, the last little piece of apple. Let's dump that in there. Okay. The only thing I am leaving out, it calls for coconut. And sometimes I'm not the biggest fan of coconut, so I am leaving out the coconut. Okay, so that's all done there. Okay, so now we're going to get into putting it in the bowl. Okay, so I got all my stuff set aside. Looking back at the recipe, I already preheated my oven to 350. Lined 2 muffin tins with paper. Didn't get that out, but I should have some right here. Yep, maybe Christmas or something, but I have some. Say line your muffin tins. I didn't do that. No, they're not too Christmassy. We're not too far off of Christmas. So these are my mini ones. I was figuring it was going to make them right in the pan, and I had put my spray out. Even though these are no stick pans. Okay, so that's that one. And so those were Christmas. Y'all ready? This is the next one that I pulled out. Happy Easter. I might have some regular ones down there, but hey. So these are all lined now. Okay, so that's all lined. Set those aside. Then the next thing is in a large bowl. Okay, in a large bowl, it tells me to mix my oil and eggs and vanilla until well combined. So oil, I had to buy some store brand. Have y'all seen the price of oil lately? Ridiculous. Okay. So it calls for a lot of oil. And since it's the first time using this particular recipe, I was trying to make it just like the recipe. Then I can determine how much of whatever that I like or don't like. So I need 1 cup. It's 1 cup of oil. One cup of oil, 3 eggs, okay, it's 1 egg, 2 eggs, and 3 eggs. And of vanilla, it calls for 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Teaspoons of vanilla. These came from the thrift store, y'all. I mean, I buy thrift store stuff for home as well as resale. And they call for 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 1, 2. And this is Watkins vanilla. Now, certain things you have to go with store brand. This is Watkins vanilla, which is some good vanilla. So I do use certain things store brand. Okay. This is my big spatula. I can pull that down. This spatula, you can get a really nice Betty Crocker. You can see it's well used. This came from the Dollar Tree. So it said beat these together. So I'm beating that together. Okay, it just says to barely blend them. And now I'm going to add my carrots. 2 cups of grated carrots. My apples. Grated apples. Okay, the apples, the pecans. I did find these already like little chip pieces, so I didn't have to cut those up. Coconuts, which I am not going to do. Raisins. Half a cup of raisins. And you stir this just until combined. This looks like more than 12 muffins when you look at that. Okay, so we have that. Then in another bowl, you can combine your flour, your sugar, cinnamon, and baking soda and salt. I'm a lazy person. I'm not sifting my flour, but I believe this flour is already pre-sifted. It's King Arthur flour. I really don't have, no, this one is not. I thought anyway, so this is some flour. I'm going to be using it. And a flour, how much flour do I need? Of my dry ingredients, I need 2¼ cups of flour. So let me use my big one so I can measure it all at one time. So flour, it needs 2¼ cups of, yeah, this is pre-sifted flour. It's 2¼ Okay, so mix the flour. And what else does it say mix in there? Flour, the sugar. It takes kind of a lot of sugar. It takes 1¼ cup of sugar. So that's one there. And now I need to do 1/4 cup of sugar. That's 1¼ cups of sugar. Cinnamon. Now I do like Penzeys brand spices because they do work a little better. And of cinnamon, you use 1 teaspoon. I know you're supposed to level and all that stuff. I really don't do that. Okay, so that's the cinnamon. And then, what else? Cinnamon. Now the baking soda. And this calls for 2 teaspoons of this. 1, 2. Okay, so 2 teaspoons of that. And a little bit of salt. It calls for kosher salt, which you know what, I have some, but I'm just going to use this pink salt here. I think it's kind of pretty. And it calls for 1 teaspoon of that, but I'm going to reduce that down. Because I don't think salt does that much good in baking. Okay, so that's the salt. Just a tad bit more. Very little bit. Okay, so that's the flour. That's that. You know what I forgot to add to this one was the pineapple, to the wet ingredients. This is 8 ounces, 1 cup of pineapple. So let me mix those all in there. And now I'm going to put all of this now. After you combine this here, the dry ingredients, then you pour it into the wet ingredients and you stir just until it's combined. And I'm going to use the other half of this to combine these ingredients here. Okay, so I'm just mixing now the dry ingredients together. And I like cinnamon, y'all, so I'm probably going to add a little bit more cinnamon. Now it says to add these ingredients to those ingredients. And I like adding those slowly, a little at a time. I like adding these. Makes it much easier for me to stir. It's about another 4. These look kind of, oh no, it's coming along. Okay, now let's add the remaining of that. Okay, so now we've added all of the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. And this is looking like this now, and I gotta stir. It's pretty, huh? My oven is preheated. And it said stir just until everything is mixed up. And it's almost there. But what I am going to do, I told you I like cinnamon. So I'm going to sprinkle a little more cinnamon in there. A nice amount of cinnamon. Looks like a lot of mix. Looks like it's for more than 12 muffins. So everything is nice. Ooh, there's a spot of flour there. You can see how that's nicely mixed in now. Okay, so now what we're going to do, let me put this top back on that. We're going to start with our large tin, and I'm going to go in and fill this. I think I'd rather have me a little scooper. Let me get a scooper. I'm seeing it's little ones, but I see a little tiny measuring here. Oh, and these pretty Pioneer women. No, I thought they're Pier 1. They came from the thrift store too. Okay, so we're going to take about 1/4 of a cup, it said, and fill these. So you can see it's a thick batter. This is going to make a lot more than 12 muffins, even though, I mean, I'm making 18 because I'm making mini one. So I guess I'll call Alyssa and see if she wants some muffins. Okay, I had to put a little bit more in that one. Okay, so they're ready to go in. So we'll stick these in the oven. And then let me set the timer. They got to bake for 30 minutes. And then you let them warm. Okay, so then we'll do these little ones here. Yes, we're going to have a lot of mix left over. Oops, that didn't work out too well. Okay, there you go. Let me get a teaspoon and fill these little bitty ones. Oh, I could just use, I'm going to use a tablespoon one to see how that works. Yes, perfect. These must have been, I didn't read the instructions. They must have been those jumbo muffins like you get like at Sam's. Because I have a ton of mix left. And I was scared to cut the recipe in half because I hadn't made it before. But one good thing, these do freeze well. So I will go in and bake all of them today and put them in the freezer. Okay, so now that one is ready. But I'm not going to put those in the oven yet because those are small and they won't take as long. I'm going to get out of 12 to make 12 because this might do it here. Okay, liners. Gotta line them. So it is 1:45, so that first batch should be ready about 10 after 9 or so. One day I'll take you along with my whole routine, daily routine, which it changes every day. And some days I think I'm a crazy woman, all the junk I do in a day sometimes. Okay, so these are all lined. Okay. And we will start filling those up. And I'll add these in the oven with the big ones. So it took about less than 20 minutes really to, well, the prep time was probably a total of 40 minutes because it took me a while to grate up all those carrots. These are great for breakfast or just you just want a snack without as much sugar that I put in them. They're pretty healthy. It's one recipe, instead of calling for oil, it calls use applesauce. But I did not see that recipe this morning. And I wanted to go in and get them made up. Okay, yeah. I was doing so good not getting it on the pan itself. Okay, take my spatula out of there, take this out of there. Then I'm just going to use this last little bit in these ones that's not as full. Stick those in the oven. And then I'll come back once this is all done. Probably gonna have to be a part 2 because I really don't know how to like edit and add stuff to it. I'll see if I can figure it out. Probably not. In certain things. Okay, so this is another 12 muffins. So this made 18 muffins. Or you know what? I didn't read this recipe. Maybe because I switched up. Maybe. Let me move this over here to the sink. Move that and that. And the other good thing is not too many dishes to wash. So I'm going to do this, finish cooking this, and then I'll go live at, I do have a sale today. It's a Saturday, which I have a regular Saturday sale. What else am I going to do today? If I get enough time, because it's just quarter till, it doesn't open until 10, I may run up to the thrift store, see if they put out any more treasures, come back, do my Saturday show, and then probably put my feet up for a while. Then, what else am I going to do? Oh, then I'll probably just sit down, put my feet up a little bit, and probably list a few things on, oh, you know what I forgot in my schedule? I do have 4 packages to mail, but they won't take a long time. So I'll do my shipping before, well, after I go to the thrift store, if I run up to the thrift store. And that's it. So I will show you my finished product, probably, maybe in part 2. So we shall see. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful day, everyone. See you later. Ooh. Sorry. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I hit the wrong button, but you can see they're in the oven. Let's turn the light on and see if you can see before I go. Yeah, they are in the oven. And they look like they're going to be pretty good. So they are baking. So we shall see what they look like when they're done. So I'll see everyone later. Bye-bye, for real this time.